Will you take action to update Social Security so it is financially sound and provides adequate income for current and future generations?
Social Security is an important part of where our country has built itself on. Families like yours and mine here in Iowa have depended on it for over 87 years. Going forward, we must make sure that not only is it solvent, but that it continues to help those who have paid into it over a lifetime. Unfortunately, by 2035, there'll be a massive reduction of that. Imagine paying into that and having 20% less of what you paid into as a Social Security recipient. That's why I believe we need to work hard on effective bipartisan solutions to make sure that we have a long-term plan for keeping Social Security viable for this generation and the generations to come. I've led in several areas here in Iowa to be able to help those who are in most need through AARP and their partnership at the State House. We led to protect senior citizens from elder abuse. We led on being able to help them stay in their homes and have honor and dignity during a time of COVID. Iowans have led on this. We can do the same at the federal level, particularly by leading task force called rescue committees that can help identify real solutions for Social Security going forward. I look forward to working not just across the aisle, but making sure that how we have led in Iowa is accomplished just as effectively when we get to Washington, D.C.
In these inflationary times, what will you do to help ensure Iowa's retirees are able to keep more of their hard-earned money and are financially secure?
Inflation continues to be one of the most crushing burdens on families across Iowa and the country. With historic highs, the highest in my lifetime, and rising costs on everything from medicine, prescription drugs, to just the cost of living on essentials like food and housing, we are faced with a situation where Iowa's seniors are being pushed out of their own homes. Recently, I was out door knocking and I talked to an individual. Her name's Melba. Melba's been a long-time member of our community. Her husband passed away and she's a pensioner. She raised her 6 children in a small home in her community. But with the rising cost of inflation, she's looking at selling the home she raised her kids in because she can no longer afford to live that. That's something that no senior, no Iowan, and no American should ever be forced into an impossible situation. So here in Iowa, we took a leadership role. We cut taxes on all retirement income, now making Iowa one of the best places to retire, but also for our senior citizens to be able to afford not just to live, but to thrive. Across the board, we are lowering taxes here in Iowa to a 3.9% flat rate, so that those who are still working in the workforce know what they're going to be paying. And going forward, we're moving to a point where we eliminate the income tax altogether. These are real solutions. When Iowans have more money in their pocket at any age, they invest in their community, their family, their farm, their Main Street. Unfortunately, we can't say the same about Washington, D.C. We have a government spend and tax plan for pretty much any challenge they're faced with. More money, more money, more money. But while you're asked to tighten your belt, too many in Washington are fine spending your hard-earned money to spend on projects that they want. This is why, to fight inflation, we have to cut the cost of government and make sure that money goes back to those in our community. We have a real plan here. We've done it in Iowa, and we have that playbook that we can take to Washington. I work hard not just to lowering inflation, but to make sure that more Iowans like you are able to keep money in your pocketbook.